Hello everyone. The story I'm going to share today is the consequences of greed. In Linan City during the Song Dynasty, a stingy businessman by the name of Maliu ran a restaurant. Although business was modest, he was still able to make a living. Maliu very much wanted to become rich, and in order to make more money, he often used poor quality rice and vegetables to cook meals for the guests. Because his restaurant was in a good location with a lot of traffic, many guests still passed through. Over time, the guests who had meals there called him Black Heart Maliu. One day at dusk, a group of people came to the restaurant. The two leaders were older, and both of them looked like fairies. All the followers were similarly different from regular people. As soon as they were seated, they started drinking and singing. The way they acted was totally different. Maliu thought, there must be a group of immortals coming to his restaurant. So he asked the servant to serve them carefully and provide them with all kinds of delicious, high-quality food. The group drank happily long into the night, finally leaving at 3 in the morning. The head went to Maliu to pay before leaving, but Maliu immediately knelt down and said, "My respectful fairies, this meal is my gift to all of you." The head replied, "We're just immortals on land. We have heard that you have delicious meals here, so we came to enjoy it. It's indeed delicious. If you do not accept payment from us, then ask us to grant a wish. See if I can satisfy you." Maliu knelt on the floor and kept kowtowing. He said, "Yes, I want to have as much money as possible. The more the better." The immortal smiled and said, "You receive a lot of profits from your customers every day, and you are still so greedy. That's fine. I will give you fortune. But you have to remember that if you are punished for being rich with evil heart and evil method, your fortune will not last long. Do you still want to have money?" Maliu said, "My restaurant is small and it's hard for me to become rich. Since I meet you today, the only request I ask you is to become rich and no others." "All right," said the head immortal. Then he used his Buddha dust, pointed to the sky and said, "Maliu, burn incense just before 3 in the morning tomorrow, and a gold mountain will appear in your courtyard. If you do not take the treasure from it, you will have happiness and long life. But if you are greedy, disaster will befall you. Go on now, your fortune is in your hands." Then the group of immortals had gone in a blink. Maliu was so excited and could hardly wait until the appointed time. He burned incense, and at the moment the incense burned out, right before the gate, there was suddenly a golden mountain in his courtyard, shining brightly with all kinds of treasures. Maliu immediately grabbed big bags to put as much as treasures into the bag. But to his surprise, the bag was never full. At this time, the servant woke up. He was stunned by the scene in the courtyard. He also could not help running to the treasures. But Maliu shouted to him, "Stop it! These are all mine." Just as he finished his words, a piece of gold rolled toward the servant. Just as the servant was to pick it up, suddenly he thought of the words the immortals left for them, and then he returned to his room. At 5 in the morning, the golden mountain suddenly disappeared from the courtyard. Maliu realized he had been putting the treasures into the bag for 2 hours, and had only filled half a bag. But still it was worth 10,000 taels of silver. Maliu closed his business on the same day and took all the treasures on his way home. Not long after, he became famous money back. He bought lands, and his barns filled with grains. But he did not change his evil heart, and all the local people kept away from him. The servant, on the other hand, went to work for another landlord. A few years later, he made some money and married a beautiful girl, and they started a happy life. One day, a group of robbers came down the mountain and went directly to Maliu's family. In a short time, all the valuables were robbed away. Before the robbers left, they set a fire on Maliu's house, and everything that remained was a pile of ash. From then on, Maliu became a beggar. One day, as Maliu was begging, he came to the servant's home. The servant was surprised, but he kindly asked his wife to cook meals for his former master. Over the table, the servant said, "My master, I know your only wish is to become rich, but my only wish is to have a family. When you were a millionaire, I was still a servant for you. Now I have a family. Although I'm not rich, but I am satisfied as far as I can support my family. So what is your big wish now?" Maliu said, "I regret that I did not listen to the immortals. My biggest wish today is to fill my stomach. My experience has told me that cheating people and selfish greed will be punished. One must take God's warning seriously." Thank you very much for listening to the story. More touching stories will be ready for you if you just subscribe it. Thank you again.